Going on, YouTubers? This is Buddy coming at you another quick video. Today I'm gonna show you the plumbing. The tank build's taking a little bit longer than expected due to the fact that I'm just busy. Kids, wife, work, just busy. So I got the plumbing done today. I'm pretty happy with the way that is. That's how I'm gonna keep it. As you can see, I added 2 extra ball valves with lips on there, so I can down the line I want to start running reactors, calc wash reactor, phosphate reactors, carbon reactors, whatever. I have the opportunity to do that. So it's real simple, basic plumbing design. I didn't go anything too crazy. I have after this, the next step is routing all the electrical cords, things like that. So I have to do all the cord management. As you can see, I just kind of have the light plugged in right now, but I have to run all the cord management. Everything's got to come underneath the stand, up into the side walls here where I have my power bars and all my timers. Get everything plugged in, and after that, it'll be filling it up with water and starting to cycle the aquarium. I still have some painting and mold trim to put on the stand, but as you can see, got the plumbing done. I'm going to show you the back of the tank right now and show you how I did the plumbing on that. As you can see, I do not have a ball valve on the drain line or the return line. I'm running both of those wide open. I'm not putting a ball valve on either one of those to reduce the flow on either one, mainly because the return pump I'm using is only a 390 gallon per hour and it has quite a distance to make it up. Drain line is a 1-inch drain line that will definitely handle the flow coming from that return pump, and I'm not going to need any reason to restrict the flow coming from that drain line or the return pump. But if I do, I can easily add one on there. It is nothing for me to do. I'll show you in the back. I have the quick connect fittings there. I have one there for the return pump, and I have each one on the ball valves, or on the lines that I have there and there. I have each one there in case I need to replace those ball valves. They're both off right now, and I have one here for the drain line in the back. There's the drain line. Hold on, let me back you up here. There's the drain line coming down, and I just put one right here. Get that out of my way. I just put one right here. This is because if I ever need to move the tank, I just unhook it here, slide the plumbing out from the stand, and then that gives me this part that's still hooked to the tank, and I can easily move the tank around or move it if we decide to move or whatever the case may be. All of this, rest of it is glued in place, primed and glued. That's not going to leak. There's no reason why it should ever break. I should never have to replace that. It is permanent and no need to ever replace it. If I do, I just unhook it here and replace the entire thing. There's the return line in the back. As you can see, there's the 2 outlets where I have so I can hook up different pieces of equipment as this tank progresses and I need or decide to go that route. There's the return line. It just comes up like this, and I just have it sitting here. I got to throw one more 90 on it so I can have it just skimming the top of the water and keeping the top of the water movement, keeping the movement at the top of the water. I still have to finish doing my drain here. I just have this part in right now. Still have to finish putting my piece on. I have all the pieces to finish it for the Herbie overflow. It's just going to be a small little Herbie overflow, but it'll work out perfect and be exactly what I need. If I don't go with the Herbie overflow, then if I'm unable to fit it in here, which I did test it and everything did seem to fit, I do have to shave one of the pieces down a little bit because it is a little tight right here. But if for some odd reason I decide not to go that route, I would simply put a ball valve on this and restrict the flow so it's a full siphon, and that would make it so it would be 100% quiet. Basically, it'd be the Herbie overflow without the backup drain line, which is quite risky. So I'm more than likely I would not go that route. So that's just I mean, I could simply put an extension on this, and what you do is you put a little cap on it and you cut holes around the side, and that you can see them on YouTube. They have something similar to how to quiet down a Herbie overflow or dorsal standpipe without the dorsal part, you know what I mean? And they show you how to quiet them down. I really don't know how to explain it. Basically, you cut holes and you slide a sleeve over top of it that's bigger, and that allows air to get in and still allows it to drain. And that's basically what would make this burp and make noises, is the fact that it's not a full siphon, it's not tuned to a full siphon, and there'd be no way for air to allow the water to go down in nice and clean. So I would simply I could simply take a drain nub is another thing you can do. They sell them at Home Depot. They're about yay long, and they're almost like a cone shape, and you stick them in here, and that would stick up to about the top of your weirs. Though that's the one issue about it. They stick up to about the top of your weirs, and that would allow the water to go in and still allow air to get in. But I've never tried that. That may end up being too much air, and it may be quite loud. So your best bet would be to run it as a Herbie overflow, which is the ultra silent overflow, or do a dorsal standpipe, which I'm going to do the dorsal standpipe, and I should have plenty of room to sneak my fitting in here. Like I said, I just have to trim a little bit off the side there, but I'll simply cut it. I'll simply cut it with my cutters, and then that'll be the end of that, to do my Herbie overflow. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's how I did my plumbing. Nothing spectacular to it. You know, try to come up with a plan before you do your plumbing. It always helps to have a plan, have a rough idea what you're going to do. Obviously, you're going to have a rough idea what you're going to do. But what I mean by that is try to draw, even if you're going to draw it up on paper, something silly like that. Anything that can give you an idea or a good plan. If you draw up yourself a little blueprints per se. You gotta remember, there's no instruction guides when it comes to plumbing your aquariums, plumbing your aquariums. And just to try to save yourself a hassle, maybe definitely dry fit everything. Don't glue anything until you got everything dry fitted and you're like, oh, that looks great. Then you start marking everything, and then gluing everything. Don't glue anything yet. Most of this stuff is glued. I have a couple more pieces I have to glue, but for the most part, this is all glued. And like I said, I'm pretty happy with that. The only thing I wish I would have did is I wish I would have drilled the hole for the drain, or for the return line. But like I said, I really didn't care that much. It didn't matter to me all that much. But now that I did it, I'm like, I'm so happy with all the plumbing. Why the hell was I so lazy? I should have drilled the tank for that return line. And I'm kicking myself in the ass for that. But it is what it is. The tank's almost done. And, I figured I'd just do the video on the plumbing. I figured, what the hell, I don't have any videos on plumbing on my channel. Like I said, but it's really easy, guys. There's not a whole lot to talk about. But always make sure you're putting these in all of your builds. Put them in wherever you feel like you need one. Definitely put one in. I mean, they're really valuable. You're definitely going to want to put them anywhere where your return pump is, so you can easily, if your return pump ever burns out, you're going to want to be able to take that, isolate that return pump. Always put them to where you can isolate any ball valves in case the ball valves go bad. These are cheap ones from Home Depot, so they do go bad. You want to be able to isolate those and take them off if need be. Same thing with your drain lines. Some people even put them in other spots. I don't bother, because of the simple fact that it's just, two 90s and one 2-foot pipe and one 1-foot pipe, and that's really in another 6-inch pipe. So it's really nothing for me just to replace that drain line. But nothing should go wrong with it. There's no plumbing, there's no ball valves, there's no nothing. It's just all glued together. 240 degrees and your 1-inch PVC. I mean, there's no reason why I should ever have to take that drain line apart. And that's the main reason why I only put one quick connect. I call them quick connect fittings. It's the only reason why I only put one of these. They're actually called unions or something like that, but whatever. I call them quick connects. That's just what I call them. This is the only reason why I put this one here, was just for when I decide to ever move the tank. I can't carry the tank with this long piece of plumbing hanging out of it. I have to be able to isolate it, take it off, and then it just leaves me with this small piece right here for the tank, and then I can just simply replace if need be. Alright guys, so this is Buddy coming at you with the 20-gallon long tank build, the plumbing. And it's always good to add, 1 or 2 of those. I added 2, which I really don't ever need to, but I added 2 just in case I ever want to hook up any other pieces of equipment to this tank. So that's always a good thing too to add, guys, if it's something that you're may do down the road, or if you're not sure if you ever may do it. I mean, it's a good thing to have them. You can even use those for doing quick water changes too. You can stick a hose on the end of them, put the hose in a bucket, and just turn your pump off and let the water drain out into the bucket, and then turn the pump on and shoot the rest of the water back into the bucket. And you could use them to do water changes if you want to do something like that. On a tank like this, I probably only get about 2 gallons of water out of it, but that's realistically probably all I'm going to do weekly is between 2 to 3 gallon water changes every week. I'm not going to do much bigger than that, realistically. So, whatever is draining out of my return line down to my sump, which is probably going to be about 2.5 gallons of water, maybe 3 gallons of water, depending on how high I sit my drain line. So I could easily stick a hose onto that, put it into a bucket, open the ball valve, and do my water changes like that. Make it real simple for me. Or even run the hose out the window right there, drain it right out the window. Alright guys, this is Buddy coming at you with the 20-gallon long tank build. I'm almost done here. Got the plumbing all done. Real happy about that. Got the cord management still to do, finishing up the stand, and this sucker's finally done. I can't wait. I'm excited. I've been working on it for too long now. Alright guys, Buddy signing out. Happy reefing.